Okay, you know what? Screw it! Let's do it! Let's talk Xenogears! Now, for those who don't know, who aren't aware, who do not have the required knowledge, that's me, Xenogears was the first ever entry in the Xeno series, at least to my knowledge, and it came out on the PlayStation 1 and developed a cult following. Now, while its story is disconnected from Xenoblade, its fanbase and growing fanbase at that still love the game and its many connections between the story and storytelling in Xenoblade that can be drawn back to Xenogears. Perfect works, look it up. Now, Xenogears. It isn't the easiest thing in the world to play nowadays, is it? I mean, unless you got like a PS3 you just have like lying around, or you know, through other means. But calls for a remaster or a port or even a remake have been increasingly growing ever since Xenoblade 3 came out, and that's for a very simple reason. Xenoblade 3 is apparently extremely similar to Gears in a lot of ways. Now, personally, I've only played Xenoblade. I haven't touched Saga or Gears myself, but I would like to. And while Takahashi isn't with Square Enix anymore, I don't think a Xenogears remake or remaster is out of the question, and it's for a very, very simple reason. Modern day Square Enix. Yeah, if you have not been following their release schedule the last couple of years, they have been really leaning into RPGs, and especially RPGs from their history, in a mix of new and old that, quite frankly, feels like they're just like churning them out. We've seen Star Ocean get some love recently, Triangle Strategy, Bravely Default, not to mention Final Fantasy and the Pixel remasters, on top of Live Alive. Was it Live Alive? Live Alive? Live Alive. Maybe. Maybe the true Live Alive was the Live Alive we made along the way. But slow your roll! Star Ocean had its second game receive a remake that was also announced at, wait for it, the latest Nintendo Direct. So it's not like Square Enix releasing stuff on the Switch is a wild concept or anything. You had the Crisis Core remake, you had Live Alive, heck, Octopath started on the Switch. You had the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. It's not like Square Enix releasing stuff on the Switch is a wild concept or anything. And with Square Enix's recent embrace of the RPG genre, coupled with Xenoblade's recent uptick in popularity that started with Xenoblade 2 and continued with Xenoblade 3, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that Square Enix may want to revisit a game that has more brand recognition now than ever before, especially in an era where they are focusing on remaking old school RPGs, and Gears is a game that, from all I've heard and seen, could absolutely benefit from a remake due to its controversial second disc that pivots the formula from the game away from what was established on disc 1. Let modern day Square Enix tackle that with its more modern art styles, or at least its modern iterations of those old school art styles, and let them flesh out disc 2 and add more content on top of that, or take the story that was there and just tell it in a different way. I'm just saying, I think that could work. It's not like Xenogears as a concept is unmarketable. I mean, you got giant robots, you got more giant robots, I mean, you have small two pieces. By the way, I need that song. Brief aside, I know this is a bit maybe jarring and a bit of off topic, but I need small two pieces, or small of two pieces. Whatever the name of the song is, I need that. I don't just need to hear the song. I need that song liquefied in some manner so that I can consume it like water, like liquid H2O. Remember that one scene of Barney from The Simpsons when he wins the lottery? And he's just pump it into my veins? That's what I need with this song. I need Takahashi to box up a disc containing just this song, come, like, hand deliver it to me at my house, and then give me my own personal gear. I need this. It's not a want, it's not a desire, it's a need. A basic need. Now, what the heck were we talking about? Oh yeah, Xenogears. And if the game ever had a revisit, I couldn't tell you what platform it would be on, because I don't think it would just be a Nintendo Switch exclusive or anything like that, or a PlayStation exclusive. The original was a PlayStation 1 game, but personally, I would want it to be multi-platform, as I preferred when games are multi-platform. I don't want people to feel limited in their pool of available games because of what plastic box they have. And especially, like, this is the case for all games for me, but especially for games I really love and cherish, I want more people to be able to play them, and not being able to because they got a different box for whatever reason. It's just kind of a crappy feeling. So personally, I'd be in favor of the game being a multi-platform release. And from what I've heard, Xenoblade 3 is essentially just the Xenogears story with a different coat of paint, and that all the Xenoblade games in essence have some aspect to the other Xenogears story in them. Not like canonically, just in terms of their story structure. And I've seen the characters, like, they're marketable. The world seems marketable. The music is amazing. You can easily make a trailer out of that. The gears look incredible. And I think if you gave the game a proper enough marketing push, the game could be an easy success. You just need to, like, fix up that second disc or the second disc issues. Which honestly may be the reason they haven't done Xenogears yet, is because they're too concerned about the criticisms that would come from just doing the second disc straight up if they don't want to really lean into it and change it. I would at least still want a port of the Xenogears though. I would still love to play it, because from all the opinions I've seen about Xenogears, the one thing not in question is the quality of the story itself. And it's a story and a cast of characters that are deeply beloved. And if Square looks at that story and adds on the flair of a modern day Square Enix RPG remake, along the lines of what they are doing for Star Ocean, or going into the bag with the Octopath art style, a game like Xenogears could really greatly benefit from having another pass done to it. I'm not the biggest fan of the art style of having pixelated 2D sprites and 3D backgrounds. It's not necessarily my thing, but I don't hate it either. And I think another interesting experiment that could be done with Xenogears is just the basic combat. Turn-based combat. One of the most polarizing aspects of Xenoblade in a lot of ways, and from the opinions I've heard from people that got into Xenoblade or tried it and didn't vibe with it, is the combat. Like, if you're a big fan of Xenoblade, I don't think you understand how truly polarizing the combat is. I really like it. I really enjoy it. However, would I mind seeing a Xenogears remake try to revert back to that turn-based combat system that's more akin to, say, traditional Final Fantasy, because Xenogears was originally proposed as the storyline for Final Fantasy VII, to my knowledge. Would I mind seeing something like that, just seeing how fans would react to it? I think that could be very valuable data, especially for Monolith. I don't see Xenoblade 4 pivoting away from the Xenoblade combat system, but nothing wrong with collecting data and just seeing what the general trends are. And there's been a whole debate in the Xenoblade community between what should get or could get another remaster or remake, or a port at least, Xenoblade X, Saga, or Gears, and which is more likely. I think the easiest to do would be Xenoblade X, because you just kind of need to fix the UI and you can just ship that, because apparently that game scales very well with increased power, which is why I don't think we've seen it yet. I think they're saving Xenoblade X for the next console, for Nintendo, to really showcase what the next console can do graphically. I don't think we'll see a Switch port of Xenoblade X. I think they're just waiting for the next console. Xenogears, however, yeah, you run into some legal problems, or at least licensing issues, because, Monolith doesn't have the rights to Xenogears. But Square Enix has been going into their bag recently, like I said at the top of the video, for their older school RPGs. Xenogears could be on the chopping block. It could be next. I wouldn't be surprised. Could be a port, could be a remake, could be a remaster, could be whatever. I don't know, but I think a Xenogears port is possible. And if you had asked me before Future Redeemed came out what I thought about a Xenosaga port or a remake or a remaster, I would have said, it could happen, just not that likely. If you're bringing Saga into the lore like they did with Future Redeemed, they just straight up canonized it, like that level. And we've seen reports of a project being done between Bandai Namco and Nintendo. I think we could see something for all these games, for Xenoblade X, Saga, and Gears. Next few years could be very interesting for the Xeno series as a whole. I think it could be very interesting, because I think there's legitimate reason to have optimism for a return to all three of these games and series. Xenoblade X, Xenosaga, and Xenogears. Especially if Xenoblade 4, by the way, is going to have a lot of Xenosaga lore be important to it. If that's going to be the case, I can't see Nintendo running off on that without making sure that their player base that really grew and developed with Xenoblade has access to that Saga story in some way. I don't see that happening without us getting a Xenosaga port, remake, or remaster. One of the three. And I don't think Xenogears is canon to Xenoblade, but I don't think it has to be either. I think Square Enix can just look at the increasing popularity of Xenoblade and go, you know what? This could be a good idea. This could be worthy of our time. We want to keep pumping out RPGs anyways. Why not Xenogears? I'm a firm believer that if you want to understand the decisions a company makes, just follow the money. You follow the money and you follow what's realistically going to make them more money. Now, the only way I could see us not getting a Xenogears remake is for one main reason: licensing issues. That's the only reason, because I don't know the legality of the deals or the licensing of Xenogears as a property. I don't know what that entails. And if there's something in the fine ink that's preventing Square Enix from doing this, then, well, out of luck. But if Square Enix thinks they'll make enough money off doing a remake, remaster, or a port of Xenogears, then they're gonna do it. Because they're a company. Companies love money. Because if you remember back in 2019, Bandai Namco, there was reporting that they ran internal cost analyses for a potential Xenosaga port, or remaster, or whatever. And the only reason it didn't come to pass was because they didn't deem it profitable enough. Well, a lot has changed in the Xeno series since 2019. Xenoblade 2 continued its upward tick in popularity, and Xenoblade 3 continued that. I know it's not Xenoblade related, but this is the entire reason I thought we would eventually get Persona 4 Golden ports for modern consoles. And I said this before we actually ended up getting the Steam port of Persona 4 Golden. Because you have one of the most world-renowned, cherished, critically acclaimed games, that is Persona 4, locked away on a dead console. A game that doesn't need a lot of touching up to still be successful in the modern day. That's a lot of money you're just leaving on the table there. And what happened? They ported them. And what happened? It sold more and they made money. I assume, right? Which is one of the reasons I'm so optimistic on the idea that we'll get something for Gears, Saga, and X, because Xenoblade just continues to get more popular. Maybe it won't happen in the next year or two, but maybe sometime down the line, as Xenoblade, if it does continue to keep growing in popularity, it would just be a matter of time, in my opinion. Like I said, unless there's something really annoying in the licensing agreements for these series, if they have access to, and they realize, hey, we can make money on this, they're gonna do it. If they can make enough money, let me clarify. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Xenogears. I would love to see it, I would love to play it, I would love to experience that story, despite the fact I kind of already have with Xenoblade 3, apparently. But still, I would love to experience that story. I love giant robots. Xenogears has giant robots on it. I would love to play it. And I think there's legitimate reason to be optimistic about us getting something Xenogears related in the next few years. May not be next year, may not even be the year after that, but somewhere down the line, I think it's possible we get something Xenogears related. So I'm going to call the video. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to go listen to Small 2 Pieces again, because I can't stop. That song is too good. Joanne Hogg is the GOAT. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe. Have a great day. Go play some video games if you can. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your opinions on Xenogears. Have you played it? If you have, what do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions and hear your perspectives. And if you have not played it, would you like to play it? Would you like to have a port to be able to play it? Or have you already watched a playthrough of it? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions. Stay safe. Have a great day. Go play some video games if you can. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload and stream in the future. Stay safe. Have a great day. Go play some video games if you can. As always, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again.